Since Spacies.
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies. Something really cool's happened lately here in Sydney, and I figured just thought I'd get this video up on the channel to explain what's going on. I recently posted on my Twitter account a post, and I've been blown away with 3,500 likes. It's just gone way out of control. So I figured I've got to get a video out here and explain what's happening. So last Saturday night I was editing my last video, which was a podcast on my channel, and as I'm editing I was getting messages from a former Sega staff member that I used to work with. So for those of you who don't know, on my channel here, the reason why I set up this channel was a huge gamer from way back since Spacies, and I actually used to work in the gaming industry. I used to work for Sega, and I also used to write for a couple of gaming magazines. But enough about me. I just thought I'd let you know why people were sending me this message about what happened. So I get a message and it just simply said, "We got to save Sonic." I thought, what the hell are they on about? I got no idea what they're talking about. And he sends me a link to this Facebook group. Nick, by the way, big shout out to you. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. But he sends me a link to a Facebook group, Australian Gamers group or something along those lines. I joined up out of curiosity to see what the hell's going on. And there was a link there about a statue, Sonic statue, and a Sally Acorn statue. Now, here in Sydney, in 1997 to 2000, we had a place called Sega World, and it was an awesome place. I actually, it was a fun park ride, interactive games, blah, blah, blah. I actually got to go to Sega World on the test run. So I was given an exclusive invite to the test run, and that was the only time I ever went, unfortunately. It was too expensive, and that was the reason why I couldn't get to go, and that was the reason why it failed here in Australia. It closed down only after 3 years of operation, and it was just really such a shame. And I always wondered what happened to the internals. Apparently they got rid of a lot of those fixtures, like the Sonic statues and all the fun park machinery and all the rest of it. They sold it off really quick, apparently. And not much really is said or talked about the history of those things since. So fast forward to 2018, I get that message, and I got told I got to head out west to a junkyard because you won't believe what you see. Take a look at the footage. Last night I got a message on my Facebook account, and basically it was a message from one of my old Sega buddies, and that I used to work with at Sega, and he said that there is a Sonic statue from Sydney Sega World with Sally as well, so that was a shock. Basically the statues were abandoned in a junkyard out in the west of Sydney. Go save them. With nothing more than that, I am on my way out to Western Sydney to see what I can do to save Sonic and Sally. Right, so we rock up to the front of this place, and when I get up to the doors, I remember someone telling me on Facebook that bring your camera but don't take it inside because the guy that runs the place might be a little unhinged, and I think he's got a thing against cameras on site. I didn't remember seeing any signs around saying no cameras allowed or anything like that, but he had a lot of other weird signs in the place that made me think, I don't think I want to test this guy and test my luck with being inside on his property. So we walk around and we're looking around for this Sonic statue, and well, it took ages to find it. We found a whole stack of other weird things in there, but anyway, we eventually find this. It was such a pathetic sight to see. You got poor busted up Sally with no body, Sonic missing an arm, a big chunk taken out of his other arm. Oh man, it was really hard to record this. Oh dear.
So I've just been at the junkyard where I got the word that this Sonic statue was located. And that's the Junkyard over there. And just near where the trains are there is Sonic the Hedgehog with Sally the statue. And they are looking pretty beaten up, worn out. It's a huge ask, I think, to get those statues back up to their original condition. The sad thing is, the owner, I spoke with the owner, and they have no intention of selling that. I tried to act as dumb and vague as possible. I guess I don't do dumb and vague very well. She knew exactly what I was talking about, and she said straight up, he's not for sale. And I left them with my business card in case they changed their mind. I don't think that this story is going to go any further than this somehow. I even said, look, I'm willing to offer a money for it, a sum of money for this, if you want to reconsider. And she just said, yeah, leave me with your card, which is not promising. That usually tells you not interested. So, a bit of a sad end, I think, to my journey. I drove an hour and a bit out here to get out to check this out. Yeah, we'll have to just see what happens from here, but I think that's the end of that statue, sad to say. Anyway.
So as you can see, it didn't end well. I spoke to the wife of the owner. I couldn't get a hold of the owner himself, and she just basically, I tried to play dumb. I tried to say, how much is it for that blue animal thingy, at the statue thingy you got at the front? And straight away she goes, oh, you mean Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna trick this one. So I tried convincing her that, I'm offering any sum of money, what would she like for it? And she just basically said, it's not for sale. The husband, he doesn't want to sell it. And no matter what I said or did, it wasn't going to convince her otherwise. So the only thing I could do was leave her with my business card, and I said, look, if you guys change your mind and you want me to make you an offer, give me a call and we'll see what we can come up with. So just back to the Twitter. I've got 3.5 likes for that Twitter post. I can't believe the amount of attention that it's got. It's probably up to 4,000 now as I'm recording this. It's just been awesome, the response. You guys still love Sonic the Hedgehog despite the series being almost dragged through the mud by Sega. But to the guys out there who are been making all these weird suggestions, like to kidnap it and take it off sites after hours or something, that's not going to work. I mean, even if we did get away with it and we did successfully steal it, what are we going to do with this thing if we end up stealing it? It's just not, that's a stupid idea. So scratch that, forget it. It's not going to happen. But something weird about the statue that I noticed is that if you have a look at it, when I walked up to it, I remember thinking something's not right. It doesn't look right. It looks smaller than what I've seen on these photos. And I can't believe, by the way, also the amount of photos you guys have been sending in, showing their time back in 97, 98, with their arm around Sonic, getting their photo taken with it. Those photos have been awesome, and they've been great as a reference because something didn't look quite right when I looked at this statue. I mean, yes, it's deteriorated. I get that part's not right, but he looked smaller, and well, Sally, there's not much left of her, but Sonic himself, he didn't look right. He looked smaller, and I thought something's not right here. He was missing his left arm, so the left arm's gone, but on the right arm there was a big chunk missing here, which told me he'd been supported maybe after he got taken away by when the park closed down. But that didn't make sense. And someone sent me a photo that explains a lot. The statue that I saw on the Junkyard is not the Sonic the Hedgehog statue and Sally statue that you saw in these photos. It was this one. I'll show that to you. So yeah, it was a miniature one. I can't get over that. It's actually not the same Sonic the Hedgehog and Sally Acorn statue, which means that maybe somewhere out there there's this larger Sonic statue still around. We don't know. So when it comes to what do I do now? Well, there's no real plans. I can't convince this guy to sell. He doesn't have a phone number. So I can't contact him. Every time I want to make him an offer, I have to actually drive all the way out to visit this place, which is an hour and a half away from me. So if you guys have got any suggestions, please leave your comment below. Tell me, how are we going to save Sonic and Sally? Hashtag save Sonic, hashtag save Sally. I want to see what we can do to get this guy convinced that we could perhaps buy it off him and restore it. I do honestly think that despite the condition of this statue, we can save it. So please leave your comments down below. Also, if you're a big fan of Sega or Sonic or just video games in general, please subscribe to my channel. I've been posting videos here for the last 2 years now almost, and I appreciate all you guys coming on board and joining in on my podcasts and reviews and all the other stuff that I do here. I think I'll leave it at that because I finished rambling on. I just wanted to post something because a lot of people have been asking me, what's going on, are we going to save it? The honest answer is I don't know. At this point in time, it is in limbo, but I don't know. Subscribe. We'll see if we get somewhere with this, and maybe we'll make some progress. Maybe we can convince this guy to get it out of the rain, because at the moment it's just left in the hot conditions or out to the exposed to the weather, and it's just going to deteriorate even further, which is just a damn shame. It breaks my heart seeing this damn thing. Anyway, my name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks, guys.
Since Spacies.